Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Just finished up the reading for the sign of Capricorn, and that was the end of the earth signs, and we are getting right into the water signs. All right, Cancers. My lovely Cancers, you guys show me a lot of love on my channel, so we're gonna wait another minute or so, and then I'm gonna get right into it. It's 3 o'clock, and so we're ready. Do a little shuffle. All right, so we are doing the weekly reading for the sign of Cancer. All right, my lovely Cancers. If you're new to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, I've put a link in the chat. If you want to book a private reading, you can go there. Any other information is in the description. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And all my video uploads, I send notifications out on those platforms. I'm kind of new to Twitter, so it'd be nice to see some of you guys on Twitter. All right, but let's get right into it, Cancer. See what it's hitting for this week for you. Of course, at 4 o'clock, I will be doing the Scorpio, and at 5 o'clock, we're going to get into Pisces. All right, we have codependency. First one out. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. All right. We have wedding. Jeez. I think this is the third reading in a row that wedding has come out for. This is really odd. It came out for the last two, I believe it was for Virgo and Capricorn. And we have soulmate. This is your soulmate. So some of you are indeed in a soulmate connection with someone. Right? Very nice. Move it down. I do apologize for any background noise. I do live on the East Coast in the city, so, you know, it is what it is. All right, so codependency, wedding, and soulmate. We got three very different sort of messages, right? But we won't really know how that applies to you until we get into your spread. So let's get right into your animal spirits for the week. Now, animal spirits can come in the form of events, stages in our lives, right? Energies that we draw upon to help us through a particular stage in our life, right? So let's just see. They can also indicate characteristics of individuals who we're dealing with, right? Could be your lover, your family member, or a friend that you're dealing with that's coming in, that you have a dynamic with this week. Whatever the case may be for this week, October 13th to the 19th. All right, Cancer. Octopus. Water energy. Octopus, right? Lacks boundaries. Octopus lacks boundaries, gets his tentacles all caught up in other people's business. Or it could be someone whose tentacles are all up in your business, right? I'm going to get into it. Octopus energy is quite interesting. We have firefly energy, which is air. Right? Bursts of inspiration are coming in. And this is a running theme for this week. There's a lot of inspiration going on with a lot of you. Solutions are coming in to problems that perhaps up until now you couldn't find a solution for. And dragonfly, more air energy. Lord of light. Dragonfly is associated with illusions, right? Not seeing the true picture, the whole picture. But we're going to get into it. All right, so we have a water and two air elements on your spread this week. So let's get right into the octopus. The octopus, well, the octopus has very messy relationships, right? The octopus oftentimes doesn't know when enough is enough. This is the king of too much information. This is the person who's always up in your business, the energy sucker, right? You ever talk to someone for a little period of time and when they walk away, you feel completely drained? When this happens, the octopus energy is at play. It's a lack of boundaries, right? The octopus lacks boundaries, and he really gets himself caught up in a lot of really messed up situations and messy situations. When this energy is abound, it can indicate, certainly can indicate codependency, right? Dealing with codependency, but it can also indicate dealing with someone who is just all in it with you, right? They just won't, you know, they just cross the line. They keep crossing the line. Could be in a relationship that you're with. You may be in a relationship with someone who is carrying on a lot of other messy encounters, right? They can't control themselves. You can't leave them alone, or else before you know it, they fall in bed with somebody. You know, this is a very sort of energy sucking, toxic sort of vibration, right? And dynamic. And again, and octopus energy is very much at play when you're in a codependent situation. Now, firefly energy, talking about inspiration. Firefly comes in with these bursts of inspiration. Is air energy. It's quick thinking, right? So with firefly, we understand that firefly energy is at play when you really need to be paying attention, because this energy that this inspiration that the firefly brings, it's bright, but it burns very quickly and for a very short amount of time. And so we're talking about here a period of time or stage in your life where you need to be very attentive, right? Open. And when inspiration comes into you, when an idea or the inkling of an idea of a solution that you've been searching for quite some time just begins to come in, you need to seize it, because oftentimes firefly energy comes in and leaves as quickly as that, right? And if you're not open, if you're not aware, if you're not paying attention, you know, the magic that the firefly can bring into your life, you can miss it, right? You can absolutely miss it. This can be a person who comes in as well, and you know, depending on how you're interacting with this person, you may be missing your opportunity to get a connection with somebody who could be a very inspirational figure in your life. Now the dragonfly. The dragonfly is the lord of light and illusion. When we think of dragonflies in the wild, we see them flying over the water generally. They're usually in ponds, rivers, right? Areas like that, water areas, right? Water territories. And they fly around, and oftentimes it's like, did you see that? You think you saw something, but is it there? Is it not there? So dragonfly talks about having a high level of sort of attentiveness to the magical, to the illusory side of life. It can be a deep belief in sort of otherworldly energies, things that can't always be so easily seen. You know, it's like the belief in fairies. Some people, you know, believing in fairy energies. Now, this is good. This is a good, healthy, sort of creative way of thinking. However, with the dragonfly, there is a warning. And the warning is that not only is he the Lord of light, but he's the Lord of illusion. And so you have to, when you're dealing with this high level of sort of, I'm going to say, magical way of thinking and looking at life, you also need to maintain a certain amount of groundedness. Okay, or else you will be swept up in the illusion of magic, right? You'll be swept up in what you think you see, right? And so you need to remain grounded, or else before you know it, you'll be going down a path that you did not expect at all, right? It can turn very, very dangerous, very toxic, can lead to sort of not being grounded, and therefore, you know, being lost, right? You can get lost with dragonfly energy if you don't remain grounded, in the sense of keep friends in your life who talk, you know, who keep you rooted in reality, keep behavior patterns in your life that keep you rooted to reality, so that you're not drawing so far into your own world, basically, and away from the real world out there, right? And so be careful with that, right? Especially when this energy is at play, when you feel as though you're resonating with this energy. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and get into your 3-card spreads. We're going to pull out about anywhere from 5 to 8 3-card spreads, depending on how long I spend on each. If you have any questions, please feel free to chat, and I will try to address your questions if they apply to what I'm reading here in the readings. Of course, we're looking at Cancer for the week of October 13th to the 19th. Show me. We want to know what kind of scenarios you may or may not be going through this week, Cancer. And how these animal spirits and romance angel messages are impacting your life this week. All right. 3 of Wands. It's come out a lot for the readings. 6 of Cups. Uh-oh. And Death. Interesting. These 2 cards came out for the very first spread for the last reading of Capricorn as well. So that's quite interesting. And so here we go. We have a situation where you're being forced to wait, right? 3 of Wands talks about patience, having to stall your forward progression because things are happening outside of your control that are impacting your goal, right? That are impacting your path that you're walking. And so you're having to wait. You're being forced to exercise patience in an endeavor. You're being forced to sort of take a look at the lay of the land before you make your next move, right? And you're coming into this week with this energy. We have a 6 of Cups here. And of course, you have a love connection somewhere along the line, either with a true soulmate. We have soulmate. 6 of Cups can indeed indicate soulmate energy, or a friendship, a long enduring friendship that is ascending into soulmate energy. Death is coming in to change something. And so I want to say for some of you, this could very well indeed be a friendship that is turning deeper, or a love relationship that is quickly moving into a different direction. Now, I want to say this direction is towards an increase of commitment, right? But, you know, we do have octopus and dragonfly, which is sort of illusory. You know, things aren't what they seem, and we have some messy relationship energy here. Something is going to change this week, and I'm going to say to you that I'm not sure if this change is necessarily that your relationship is moving to a higher level of commitment, or that some information is going to come out that you didn't know before. Something is going to really fundamentally change this dynamic, and I'm going to say this is why you've been forced to wait. This is why things have happened in such a way that you've been forced to sort of take a step back and wait. It could be that for some of you, you may have just been getting ready to get married, right? You may have had a wedding planned this week, and then all of a sudden it's been stalled and stopped, and there's something that's happened that's changed everything completely around. Or it could be that you've been waiting to make the next step in a relationship or move in together or something of that nature. And so but you haven't been able to do it because of circumstances. And then this week, this death comes in, this huge transformation comes in, for better or worse. But it's this transformation has to come in before you make your next move. And this is why you're being forced this week really to wait and see what is coming up. And I really can't see. I mean, I'm not a clairvoyant, so I can't see how this is going to come out for you. I could do a reading, and, you know, personal readings are much more in-depth, and we can look at a lot of other issues. But however way this comes out, it has to happen before you can move on to your next step. And the universe and everything that's happening around you is sort of working towards that outcome. Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and Nine of Wands. Okay. Some of you are reevaluating what your goals are. You've been looking at the fruits of your labor and you're starting to say to yourself, is this really worth it? Was this really worth it? Is this really where I want to be? This is certainly talking about your success or your abundance in your career. Some of you may have been held back in your career for various reasons, or you may have sacrificed um, working towards a particular career goal for something else in your life, maybe a relationship or a connection. Whatever the case may be, this week you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied with where you're at, and you're kind of looking back on everything that you've put into it and wondering, why is it there not more, right? Why am I beating my head up against the wall and I'm not getting the success that I want to get? Why am I not getting the reaction that I want to get? Why am I not getting the fruit that I want to get? And so this week, this is something that you're really, really busy with in your head, and you have a Five of Wands, which is a power struggle. You find yourself competing with somebody for something that you really, really desire, right? This could be competing for someone's affections. This could be competing for a particular position in maybe work or in a dynamic, right? Whatever the case may be, it's competing for something that you really truly desire, and I don't think it's working out in your favor. And you're feeling very much this week like, you know, I'm losing this competition like I have done in the past, and I'm not happy with the work with what's coming out of all of the hard work I'm putting in. You're feeling completely disillusioned on a lot of issues this week. Dragonfly, remember, Lord of illusion and disillusion, right? You wake up and you realize that everything that you thought was so great isn't so great. You're not happy with it anymore. And this week you begin to really take a long look back at a lot of scenarios where you've been at before, because you're starting to realize that this is a pattern. And so for some of you, it's time to break out of this pattern. It could be a codependent pattern that you're in some other area in your life that is causing you to continue to have these experiences, causing you to continue to keep feeling like you're the one who always loses out of the competition, or you're the one who always puts the extra work in and doesn't get the return, and everyone else always seems to be putting less effort in and getting more return. And so this week you're doing a lot of soul searching, right? You're doing a lot of soul searching and looking back at your life and starting to maybe realize and wake up to areas where you maybe caused this issue, or perhaps where you were dealing with a scenario in such a way that you were doomed to constantly repeat the mistakes of the past. This is a real soul-searching week for some of you. Three of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the World. So some of you have certainly been working really hard. Three of Pentacles talks about really putting your mind, body, and soul into something, really trying to move ahead in a particular area of your life, especially when it comes to your career or an endeavor that is really close to your heart. For some of you, if you're an artist, it's about really like getting your artwork out there and progressing that forward. And you've been really busy with this. However, there's an Eight of Swords energy around. Now, the Eight of Swords is my great victim card. This is my gaslighter card. Eight is the number for boundaries and restrictions, right? But here with Eight of Swords, we see how restrictive and closed off ways of communicating with people, ideas, restrictive ideas we have about life that we hold on to, how these things can actually alienate us from the rest of the world. How they can, this rigid kind of thinking my way or the highway, not giving other people room for their opinions, how all of this can ultimately put you in a position of restriction where there's no growth for you. And not only that, you're alienated from others. Others don't want to be around you. And then oftentimes the person who's resonating with this energy You see that they're bound and blindfolded. Oftentimes, this person is the great victim because they always blame everyone else for their misery. They blame everyone. It's their fault that they don't want to talk to me. It's not my fault. You know, I haven't done anything wrong. So they're not really willing to take responsibility for their actions. They're not willing to take responsibility for how they've managed to alienate themselves by this kind of way of conducting themselves, way of communicating with people. This is the person at the party. Nobody wants to fucking talk to this person, you know, because every time you talk to this person, they over talk you. They don't engage with you, right? And then they're just pissy about it. Then they're like, "Wah, nobody wants to talk to me." So this energy is coming in, and it could very well be that there's somebody in your life that is resonating with this. They may be somebody who always comes into you whenever you're starting to see a little bit of success or you're starting to move forward a little bit. Here they come with this gaslighter sort of toxic energy. Well, what about me? You know, it's like very codependent in a way. You know, they depend on you to be miserable for them to be happy. When you're happy, they come in with the misery. And it could very well be that you're dealing with somebody like that. I want to hope that you're not resonating with this energy. And if you are, it could be, and I want to say if you're resonating with it, I don't imagine that you're resonating with the most extreme portion that I'm saying here, but it could very well be that you're feeling a little bit like the world is treating you unfairly. You've tried everything, but nothing seems to be working. And you're starting to perhaps feel a little bit like a victim. If this is the case, you have to stop yourself because, like I said, that way of thinking, that energy can get very, very toxic soon enough. And so if you're feeling like, you know, if you're beginning to resonate with this, then the way to break free from that is to sort of let go of some of your rigid ideas, right? If there's certain things that I want to say ideas about life and people that you've held on to steadfastly, but your experience keeps proving you wrong, it's time to start letting go of them. You know, it's time to sort of maybe understand that maybe there are other sides or there are other ways or other opinions, right? Things don't have to be a certain way because you're only causing yourself misery. World card comes in certainly when you begin to learn this lesson. You begin to sort of see yourself as in the world, right? Living in the world, not just living, you know, as a part of this world on this planet, but really living in life. When you begin to feel like your day-to-day activities are impacted uh, by life itself, and you see that impact, you know what I mean? Understanding that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in your life at exactly the right time. Oftentimes, world energy can come in when you're ready to accept difficult times that you've been through because you understand that all of the things that you've been through in your life culminate to this position where you're at now, to being where you're at right now. And you're happy with where you're at and who you are right now. So, you know, you're beginning to sort of really understand some things about life that perhaps you didn't understand before. And it's quite interesting that this energy here, this toxic sort of weird energy is kind of popped in. And it's almost like, and I'm going to say for some of you, I really feel like this is somebody in your life who resonates with octopus energy, and you kind of are like, they come in, and normally before when they've been able to come in, they've really been able to suck you dry. But this time it's almost like their energy just bounces right off of you. It's like you just don't take it in. You realize what they've been doing. You realize that it's time to set up a boundary, a border with this person that they can't cross, you know. You're taking responsibility sort of for how they affect your life, and you simply sort of treat them as if it doesn't exist anymore. You know, this energy is not there anymore. Same thing if you are beginning to resonate with this week, you're starting to realize and let go. For some of you who've been holding on to a particular situation for too long, you're going to realize this week and begin to let go of it. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, Page of Pentacles, and Lovers. Some of you are getting your wish fulfillment this week. Nine of Cups talks about having a lot of blessings in your life, but still having that one true love connection elude you. that one connection that would ultimately take you up to a 10 of cups, eluding you. But this week you get a wish fulfillment in this way. And for some of you, there is a very real conversation or meeting or message that you get, that you get from someone, and it leads to this soulmate connection. Right? It could be, for some of you, you may be getting a letter coming in from someone who is at a distance from you, who is your lover, or something very real is going to happen with someone this week. Because Page of Pentacles brings in very real, practical sort of events, messages, presents, right? Page of Pentacles is also the gift giver. Also the one who brings in new opportunities, but really practical opportunities, opportunities that change our environment, perhaps how much money we're making, where we're living, things of that nature. New opportunities, fresh and new opportunities coming in to increase our abundance, right? A lot of this is a wish fulfillment for you. For some of you who have been wanting to have a bit of change in your career, right? Or in that area of your life, it is finally coming. What you've been wanting is finally coming in for you. But right on the heels of it comes this soulmate connection as well, right? And it could be that whatever this new opportunity is, if you take it up, you will see signs of it leading you straight to a connection with someone that perhaps you would not have seen them or had this connection had you not had this very innocent meeting or this very innocent sort of little opportunity come up that you've decided to take. Star, Ace of Wands, and Two of Cups. I'm going to leave it right there for you, Cancers. This is going to be the last spread. Star energy talks about really manifesting your hopes and dreams here on Earth. Clear thinking, formalizing your dreams, right? You can't manifest what you want to do until you can actually formalize the plan, the idea in your head, until you can conceptualize it. Star energy talks about being able to conceptualize your hopes and dreams and being able to see exactly what you need to do to make them manifest. What steps you need to go through to make them manifest, right? The clear thinking, the plan, the strategy, the idea, how to achieve, all of that is associated with star energy. This is, of course, the card for Aquarius. And so Ace of Wands comes in, and Ace of Wands is the great phallic symbol in the deck. It is representative of new, passionate, creative endeavors. It can also be representative of new relationships. And so for some of you, this inspiration, this new sort of creative font of energy springs up for you. And it opens the way to a beautiful soulmate connection. All right. Where does this come from? It comes because some of you have been very diligently working along your path, working along sort of manifesting your hopes and your dreams, right? And this week, a new sort of way, Firefly energy is at play too with this inspiration, I'm going to say. This week, a new inspiration comes in. A new sort of ping opens up. And not only does it sort of like impact your overall ambition for your life, because star energy is not just about achieving one thing. It's about achieving a type of a life, right? A type of living, right? A goal, a lifelong way, a goal, right? This new opportunity comes in and impacts this dream that you have for yourself, this vision that you have for yourself, and it brings with it this love connection. It brings the soulmate connection with it. Very, very beautiful indeed. For some of you, this is going to be very new, happening. If it hasn't just begun to happen, it will be, this is what you may be, if you're resonating with this, it will be coming in this week. And you'll know by the end of the week who this connection is with. It could be that you meet somebody new and you almost have like a love at first sight scenario. This could very much be a love at first sight, sort of the instant hard on, you know what I mean? It's like when you see somebody, you just know that you love them, you want to be with them. Very beautiful indeed. All right, Cancer, I'm going to call it. This is your reading. for October 13th to the 19th. Thank you for everyone who stopped by to watch this live stream. I do appreciate it. If you resonated with this, if this touched you in any way, and you want to support me and my channel, then please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification. Share the video on your social media. That's one of the things that really helps me the most. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But for right now, Cancer, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you next week for the weeklies. Bye-bye.